Welcome to the January 22nd, 2021 video version of the Wagner Daily. My name is Rick Petticelli. Once a week, this video replaces the written commentary portion of our nightly report. Hopefully it serves as a nice change of pace as well as offers some insight as to how we set up our charts and what time frames and indicators we use. And we'd like to keep it pretty simple with our charts. We have a 5, 10, 20 EMA, then we have a 50 and a 200 SMA. We have the volume with a 50-day moving average, and then we have a relative strength line, which is just a line that represents the relative strength of whatever chart we're looking at versus the S&P 500. And that's it. Pretty much on the weekly, we have a 10 and 40 week MA, which is almost the same as the 50 and 200, just a bit quicker. And we also have a volume with the 10-week moving average and the RS line. So first up, let's run through a few broad market averages. The NASDAQ Composite gapped to new highs on Wednesday with the strong trend day. Had a little bit of a tough time on Thursday, but rallied back into the close. Maybe a bit of stalling action up here. NASDAQ is up about almost 5% from the swing low here, so it's gotten a bit ahead of itself in the short term and could probably use a few days of chop, if not a pullback into the 5 or 10 day EMA. The S&P 500 pretty much the same, up about 3% or so off the swing low, and could use a day or two of chop or a pullback to the 5 or 10 day MA. Last up is IWP, which has made 2 higher highs, but note that the RS line has made 1 lower high and a second lower high, which just confirms what we're already seeing the past few weeks. That growth is not leading the market higher right now. But at some point, the money will flow back into growth stocks, and when it does, we should see some pretty good moves. As for open positions in the model portfolio, sorted by today's gain, we have FUV, which is up about 33% from our entry point, which was around 1740. We took about half off around 22 and still holding on to the other half with a pretty loose stop. NIO, we're long from an average entry price of 52 right in here. And we have a really tight stop in place beneath the low of 119, which broke the 10-day EMA. So if today's low can hold, look for the price action to climb back above 60 and punch through that area. If Thursday's low does not hold, then we could see an undercut of the 20-day EMA, and then we look for some sort of a reversal candle to re-enter the position. IIPR was just purchased above Wednesday's high on Thursday, so it's only up about 1% or 2. Looking pretty good with a nice reversal off the 10-day EMA on Thursday here. JD, we're long from an entry at 92. And as long as the price action stays above 92, we're going to stick with the position. Hopefully it can just chop around for a few more days or maybe another week, and then attempt to break out to new highs. TDOC, Teladoc, we're up about 6% from our entry at 230, which was right in here on this day on 112. So he had to sit through some chop, but notice that the 10-day MA was not violated, and it followed through to the upside on Wednesday. Pretty explosive day with with heavy volume. And so far looking pretty good. Nothing to do, just hold on. Next is DOCU, which we entered around 256. And the price and volume action looks constructive. It just has to go. So we're looking for the 10-day MA to hold with some higher lows here. And eventually DOCU can bust through this swing high. Uber, we're in from a breakout entry around 55. Had a really nice advance on big volume on 112, but just failed to follow through. Gave it all back, and now we have a fairly tight stop in place just below 55. PLTR, we're long from about 26.77 on 113 here. So we bought the breakout above the 2-day high, which we thought would also put it back above the downtrend line. But the price continues to struggle, really unable to punch through 27 and hold. And our stop is pretty tight right now. If it doesn't hold above Thursday's low, which is also beneath the 5, 10, and 20-day MAs, then we're going to bail on the position. And last up is APPS, which recently broke out to new highs. Our entry was over the high of 119 on 120. And on the date that APPS triggered, we had a nice breakout, solid price and volume action. And on Thursday, there was a pullback on lighter volume. So everything's looking pretty good right now. Nothing to do in APPS. And for those subscribers who are following us in the live trading room on our Slack channel, we've had quite a bit of success the past 2 weeks trading stocks that are unofficial setups that are usually listed in the Wagner Daily every night. At the top of the report, we have our official setups, and at the bottom we have the unofficial setups, which aren't bad setups. They're just typically not the ones that we trade in the model portfolio, which are mostly stocks with either earnings or revenue growth or are fresh new IPOs. But these unofficial entries can produce some explosive price action. They're basically swing trades in stocks that are setting up very much the same way that our official setups would. It's just that many of them lack earnings or revenue growth, but they're very much in play and tradable for aggressive traders especially. And on to potential setups on the long side that could be in play over the next few days. Doordash, and there's a breakout to new highs which failed. Price action is pulled back in to the 10-day EMA. Note the volume on the pullback's been pretty light, especially on Wednesday and Thursday. A move through the 121 high is the entry. DKNG is also looking pretty good. A false breakout here, and then a pullback and a tight 2 to 3 days of price action. Could be in play over the 54.50 area, and then on strength above 56 or 57. AI is a pretty recent IPO with a ton of liquidity, trades $130 and does about at least a few million shares a day. So plenty liquid. Broke its downtrend line and it pulled back once again, formed a bullish reversal candle. If it can get above Thursday's high, could be in play for a swing with the 2-day low as a stop. Tembe is looking interesting here after a failed breakout attempt to new highs, but the price action didn't exactly roll over yet. It's been trading in a tight range the past 2 days above the 5-day EMA. If it can clear the high the past 2 days, then look for the price action to fall through to the upside. JMIA, also another interesting stock, as it looks like a bit of a mini cup with handle pattern. If the price can break through the highs of the past 2 weeks, then it could be off to the races. This stock is very explosive, and a breakout above the current range high would be just below the all-time high. So if JMIA could just get a bit of momentum going, it wouldn't take too much for it to set a new all-time high. Other interesting setups, DOCU. Also, we've already covered this on the model portfolio, but any pullback into this 10-day EMA is a potential buy point, looking for fall through to the upside. Earnings are not until 3/11. XPEV, very volatile stock here. False breakout above the swing high, undercut the 5-day EMA, but bounce back again. If it can get back through this 56 area, then it certainly could have a shot of exploding higher, or at least a 20 to 30% move. And of course, BLNK is worth monitoring. This has been a heck of an explosive mover lately. If it can break this downtrend line, could be back in play. LAZR, Luminar, looks like a downtrend line break. Now the price is just going sideways. Obviously, it has to clear 36, but if it can get back above the 2-day high here, then it could explode higher. And the last chart of the video is GP. Nice cup with handle type look. Downward sloping handle. Look for the price action to take out the 2-day high on a pickup in volume. Note the dry up in volume through the handle, which is generally a bullish sign. All right, that's a wrap for tonight's video. Thank you for joining me, and we'll see you next week. Have a great weekend.